All right, the long-awaited Pot of Gold episode is back. I'm here. I'm Brett. I'm here with Mike. Hughie, just ready for it. Got the YouTube notifications
Oh,
on.
wow.
Shout out to him. Grant, the intern, back with a fresh looking park ranger hat. I'm digging it. A lot to get into, boys. Mike, welcome back to employment. Welcome back to the internet.
Oh my God, dude, no Wi-Fi. It's been like locked in a dungeon.
The people have been clamoring. I see Gerald already in the chat. He was starting to get a little persnickety in the comments, like, guys, it's been a minute. It's like we're here. We just got to get through the PGA now, and the boys are back. And granted, LSU baseball plays tomorrow to open up SEC championship game, so perfect time.
Right on time for streaming access. So I've got connected straight into the Ethernet. I'm streaming like at high speeds right now. So just in time for LSU baseball. We play tomorrow. Is that right, Balboni?
Yep.
Early.
Tomorrow at 9:30 Central Time.
We also none of us remembered to change the title for the YouTube stream. So Grant, if you could
Oh man, LSU
could do that. I don't know if it
Monday.
edits live. Either way, guys, we're a little rusty. It's the off season for everyone.
Yeah, no, this is simply, honestly, this is for Gerald and Hughie, but this is also for the boys to just kind of catch up. Like as a podcast group, we haven't really chatted in a couple weeks, so I'm sure this is gonna be more of like a catching up pod than it is talking and breaking down the incredible baseball team. A big sweep against Ole Miss, nonetheless, or talking about Bryson DeChambeau and Xander Schauffele and obviously Scotty Scheffler's arrest and all the good stuff. So
Yeah,
good show, packed show. We don't know what we haven't covered or what we are going to cover, so just free ball it with us.
Yeah, and look, man, we're probably gonna.
I'm free balling right now.
I'd like to discuss a little bit about Brian Kelly and his like NIL comments because we haven't talked since then. I know it's old news for a lot of people, but you know what? I think that's what we're gonna do. But yeah, a lot to discuss. PGA, LSU baseball, Brian Kelly. Is Brian Kelly Dabo Sweeney? People are asking.
See, like college football right now, like I don't know what's happening other than the video game, which very excited about. Brathwaite, shout out, got a nice shout out for the new video game, right? Wasn't it 44 or whatever? I think Grant, you put it in the group and you're like, who the hell is this?
Well, there was 35 and it was like Braswell. A hyphenated name.
It was something Braswell.
I thought it was Brathwaite, but it was like an AI generated version where it's like half of the letters are correct.
No, Emory Jones got a nice little love hitting the win bar.
How about Emory? How about John Emory graduating from college? Round of applause.
Like, what a W.
John, thank you for your service.
What a career. Like getting the GAT with the hot lady who's now like the mom of one of the offensive linemen.
Yeah. Big Newman redheaded kid, probably a really wealthy family from New Orleans.
Like being on the team, off the team, on the team, in the portal to graduating. So I think that's a big dub. I saw, I'm sure you saw the same thing. Frank Wilson being like, this one's special. And it's like, yeah, man.
I heard he's trying his luck at Georgia next season. He's pulled his name out of everything, and he's in the transfer portal heading to Georgia just to give it a shot.
I wish nothing but luck for him. A guy originally committed to Georgia that we thought got away and, ended up swinging him in the recruiting process and never really, I would say, working out as anyone expected. But
yeah, it was obviously a joke. I mean, he's not going to Georgia.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know what's going on at Georgia, but walking on. But, yeah, I don't know. Good luck to John Emory.
So, Grant, first and foremost, baseball, right? I think we should kind of recap baseball first, get that out the way, because that's
don't let us get hot.
We're hot right now. I think there's I really, really wanted to dive into the Brian Kelly stuff. Like when you mentioned it, because it was like I forgot we haven't even talked about that. And that, just that gets me going. Just like everything in the media right now, where you can clip fucking 3 seconds and all of a sudden it's like everybody's in an uproar, just like the fucking punter for Kansas City.
We're not going to go there. We're not even going to get to that tonight. I can say that. We can start with baseball.
So Baseball had a brutal schedule. Brutal SEC schedule. Started off.
Stop.
Well, hold on.
Look at the front end of our.
Baseball had the most errors in the league.
What?
I'll say this.
Pretty sure.
In all time Jay Johnson quote to be like, I think we're the 15th best team in the country. We're just playing the other best 15. Like,
no doubt about it.
Talk about like that's PR 101 right there. That's the man who knows how to get into the tournament.
No, Balboni, I've got to be devil's advocate for a second. This can't be sunshine and rainbows with this type of season. I get it. So I'm just trying to, be the Avenger here, the antagonist. My point is, I don't think this is just because what you stated was the only reason that we are where we are is because the schedule is tough. You said that's it.
No.
And so I had
put
to battle
words in his mouth.
No, what I was starting to say is our SEC schedule started off very difficult. It was difficult to navigate to be the 20-10, in conference hosting, and doing all the things that we were expected to do. It basically that did not help with the type of team that we ended up having. As the season went on, we were able to identify ourselves, and it was just tough to navigate through that part of the SEC schedule. So with that being said, we were able to salvage it, and hopefully with a win tomorrow, I'm pretty confident that, we're in. I think without a win tomorrow, there's several other SEC teams that are in the same boat as us, including Vandy, South Carolina, Florida, and Ole Miss. No, and Alabama. But those 4 teams play each other in the first round of the SEC tournament. So
haven't all those teams beaten us?
Who could say?
Yeah. Well, no. Let's see. We didn't play South Carolina.
Yeah. So South Carolina didn't beat us.
No.
So fuck.
So we're 10-5 over the second half of the SEC. So if we would have started anywhere, if we would have been 15-15, we've pissed away 3 or 4 games this year. Easily.
What happened, man? Where's the timely hitting? What happened? Because I feel like the last time we really dug into baseball, we were like, man, Paxton Kling is gonna fucking have a breakout season. I called that. Bear Jones, Brady Neal, like this is their year. And then it kind of like what happened?
Yeah,
I think hangover.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it was a little bit of the hangover, effect where I don't think, you went from having probably the most talented team of all time to still having a very talented team, but, just guys didn't step up. Guys that you expected to step up just didn't do what they were capable of doing. And I think, we also, like I said, we didn't catch many breaks as the season went on. The pitchers,
we went from guaranteeing a Friday W pretty much every week to like, well, we'll see.
Well, that was the thing. We with Gage Jump and Holman, it was almost a guaranteed. Like they did what they had to do, and then we would lose games late or the offense wouldn't show up.
I think what happened is Thatcher Hurd didn't.
Well, that was a huge. There was several huge.
That's your guy, bro. This is on you.
I take full responsibility for that.
But I think one thing that hurt was like you could not find. I think we won 2 Sundays out of the whole SEC. Like that's you've got to be able to find a way.
That's what I'm saying. I listen, and let's bring it up here. I know the season's not over, but like in my head, it's been over. So I'm just kind of putting a bow on it and kind of summarizing like our thoughts about Jay Johnson, right? And I don't think it's fair.
Fire his ass.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to look at Jay and be like, let me take this back. I think it's fair to look at Jay and say, dude, you didn't have a good coaching, season, right? Like this was not your best work. Does that mean that Jay Johnson is not going to win another championship here or have us right back where we need to be probably within next year? Like, no, I think that's the case. I think he will continue to improve, but I do think he's one of those guys that like this was something that he wasn't ready for, this hangover of a national championship, this not complacency in the portal
in the air. I mean,
yeah. And I think it was a little too hyped up, a little too like, yeah, we got some guys coming back. We're going to experiment with some freshmen here and there. And it's like the experimentation just like kind of went on a little too long. And before we were just like, all right, this is our guys, step the hell up and let's win some baseball games here. And we had bad breaks throughout the season. Like you said, a lot of that like luck that comes in baseball, like the ball just did not bounce our way. We did not get the calls when it happened.
No runner
like,
interference.
And it becomes so much more evident when every game is like on the line and you're just like, whoa, if we would have just had that call back. But like we were always just on the line. And I think that has a lot to do with coaching. So I don't want to say like this has nothing to do with Jay Johnson, but I don't want to make the mistake of people assuming I'm talking about like get rid of Jay. Like that's absurd.
I think what happens is, and I think you saw this with some of the Minari teams that were crazy talented, and then they couldn't do anything. And I think what it is, a lot of it has to do with the amount of pressure this program has on it, the amount of care that everyone around the program has. I feel like these kids literally shit their pants, when they get in front of the big stage. Like they're talented enough. They're ultra talented, but for whatever reason, I've seen this time and time again where it's like, okay, Paxton Kling's the 5-star, 5-tool player. And it's like, what, like he is the guy. Like,
and that's why I think this like the psychological side of things when it comes to coaching, I think Jay likes to experiment with that, and it just didn't hit this year on like getting these guys like put your phones away. Like he tried shit, you know what I mean? And I don't think it really hit with this crew. And objectively, that is a failure on that type of experiment, and he's going to have to rebound from that.
And I mean, here's the thing. You get in this tournament, anything's possible. Sure. I mean, I'm not going to say we're going to win this thing, but
don't let us get hot.
We're 13. We finished 13-17 in SEC play. You know who else was 13-17 with a bad season was Ole Miss 2 years ago when they won the national.
And they ran the table.
So, we're not going to win the national championship. I have no expectations. Now, I do want to see us play in a regional, and the latest projection is sending us to Stillwater.
See, I told you that wasn't softball. I was on that.
Okay.
Mike was very worried that I wasn't up on the baseball. I was like, dude, we're going to Stillwater, Dallas Baptist.
No, I was throwing it out there just to kind of.
I think we end up in Corvallis or something again. Which give me that all day. Send me up there.
We don't.
Oh yeah.
Okay. We don't sit here all day asking for likes and subscribes, but there's like 30 of y'all watching on Twitter right now. Hit that retweet button or hit the follow button. Go to @Gold.
We need all 35.
Every time you hit the like button, we each get a Bitcoin. So it really helps.
Is that how it works?
Really helps us.
Physical token.
It really helps us. And then I don't know if y'all been smoking that crypto lately.
Anything else with baseball? I mean, I think that's pretty much it. Like, hey, we play tomorrow. Hopefully, they get a dub. And
we're playing Georgia. You said
we played Georgia. So
the
like number 5 in the RPI,
the home run leader in the country. What's his name?
Condon's
gonna fucking put up numbies.
Well, I haven't even looked at who's possibly going to throw tomorrow. Besides, if it's your boy from St. Paul's,
if it's my guy, yeah,
your guy. That is Mike's.
Anderson. No, Anderson, right?
Yeah, Cade Anderson.
Yeah.
Not to
he's gonna good luck. I don't know.
Not to derail the conversation, but anytime I see our boy James on Twitter posting about the fight of his wolf pack, it hurts, man. It brings some pain, a lot that I didn't know I still had.
At first it was like, good for you, man. Do what's best for you. And then after like the 5th like SPS Wolves Brotherhood post, I'm just like, James, like.
Yeah, let's hit the
put the salt shaker up, dude. Like the wounds are open, and he's just fucking. he's just hammering the salt. He's like Balboni. He's like fucking Johnny Handcheck at a restaurant. Like keep it coming.
Do we want to sneak into football? Talk about a little NIL.
I thought we were going to talk about the softball team.
That's later. If you joined for softball, wait. Actually, we already discussed it. So if you join for softball, you're gonna have to rewind.
Go back and watch it, and then I think it was the last episode.
And hit subscribe, like and subscribe.
Now that I'm thinking, it was 3 weeks ago the last time we did the pod.
That up. So the NIL discussion, right? So, and this is the nature of the beast of social media, where you can have a 5-minute interview or a 5-minute speech or a 5-minute statement. And 30 seconds to a minute of that be clipped and formulated into a narrative. Immediately listening to that, I didn't see the clip. I listened to the whole interview. So when he said what he said about like, this is not the place for you if you're looking to just get paid, I like the second he said it, I'm like, here we go. Here's another fucking soundbite.
Family.
And you know, Brian Kelly falls into that. Like he really steps headfirst into the attack. And
He
but like
lobs he lobs softballs for the internet.
I
Like
kind
he
of
just
appreciate it.
fucking tosses them up.
I appreciate it because he has to know that. He has to know. He's just like, I don't give a shit that this is going to be a soundbite. Like my team's going to win. You know, like he's very confident in what he does. Like he's
He
gonna,
wants it to be a soundbite. Like
yeah.
that was a message to his own locker room. Like I
Well, that's
could
also a
not.
message to the governing body of college football in the next couple of years when they start investigating this shit and like putting rules down. They're going to be like, you know what? LSU's been behaving. You know, their coach even came out and made an actual statement about following whatever rules, which might not actually be in place, but be ethical about the development of players. And we've been out there kind of voicing and championing, like, hey, we've got an NIL structure that's organized. We don't have to just go around cutting checks and bringing kids into a locker room where it's like, oh, wait a minute, where's my fucking check? I thought we were all about this team, rah, rah, you know, believe in each other bullshit. Well, this cat can go from Georgia Valley State and walk in and y'all are going to give him $1 million. Like, get out of here.
Yeah, you know, maybe getting older, but I couldn't have been like I was so happy after hearing the whole clip of him like saying essentially the way I took it is that we're not going to completely uproot our locker room for a short-term gap fill. And it's like sign me up for that. In this age, and I'm all down to go get some NIL guys, but in this age of like mercenary football, he's honestly like looking at the long term of what this team's going to be and like the locker room he has. And it's like to uproot that, like you said, to bring in let's call it a defensive lineman when you got 2 first-team All-American offensive tackles that have been starting for you for 30 games, and to be like, well, we really needed this guy. Like that changes the dynamic of everything. And it's like, it's so unfair to get this like Dabo like comparison when Dabo's literally going on radio shows and being like, we took 25 transfers. They're just transferring from high school. It's like if Brian Kelly was out here saying this, I would be all out, like completely
but
out.
he's even doubled down and been like, no, we're like if you want to come here and get paid, like you can do that with a very well structured NIL program that we have here, and you're going to earn money, and you're also going to get drafted very highly and make a lot more money. And in the meantime, you have a chance to compete for championships. So it's like he's trying to sell the entire package the right way. And to be honest with you, even, and I'm not saying what Dabo is doing, how he's talking about it is valid because it's absurd. But there is something respectable about both Brian Kelly and Dabo
No, I
of
agree.
like going down swinging with their own convictions. Like if you really believe that and that's how you're going to run your program, don't fucking bend at the knee and be like, you know what? I guess we have to just start buying players and everything I've stood for the past like 30 years of my coaching experience is out the
Just
door. It's like,
retire like little Nicky boy.
yeah, just I respect that more of just being like, I don't buy this shit. I am not good in this situation. I'm out of here. But they're not. They're like, hey, this is how I'm building a program. We're playing within the rules, and we're still going to get some fucking dogs.
And you know, Brian Kelly's used the transfer portal in one year very well, and 1 year, yeah, kind of average, I would say. I just think that means that he feels like they've built up a locker room to where they don't need to go in and find a bunch of these guys. Do we need help on the line? Like, absolutely. Am I worried about the defense going into next year? Yeah,
Yeah.
I am. I am. But I also think we're still going to be pretty good. Like, I think we are in that playoff mix. And so it's like if he thinks that it's better to have the locker room, Brian Kelly has done exactly what I thought Ed O could do. It is like build that culture in that locker room of like it's us versus everyone. And I feel like I'm sure there's some bias here and there's other teams that will say this, but like I feel like we have as good a culture in the locker room as anyone in the country. The only people that dipping their toes in the transfer portal are guys that are getting third team reps.
Yeah.
There are no big names like saying, man, I just don't like what we're doing here. Like everyone is
Quinshon
bought in.
Judkins at LSU is not going to be like, you know what, I'm going to Ohio State.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
just
Like we're holding on to those guys. we are the destination to where you're supposed to be. So when you get in that moment, and we shouldn't be in this situation, right?
Yeah.
That is a coaching error that we have to like scrounge for defensive tackles at this point. But just because you're in that situation doesn't mean you bend at the knee and just give anybody a shit ton of money, because that's going to be a locker room distraction. That's not going to be someone that's going to be bought into what you've been building. It's unfortunate, but at the end of the day, like there's got to be a little bit of like both ways here. I'm sure he was a little scorned and just been like, we've been recruiting these motherfuckers, and they're really going to go to Miami. You know what I mean? Like
Miami comes in at the last minute and throws an extra 300K or whatever, whatever these offers are. Yeah, I get, I
right.
get
And
it.
so I think it's more of a point to like them and the families and be like, listen, don't stop wasting our time. Because if you're just looking for the highest bidder, like it's not going to be us, but this is what we can offer you. So I think we're going to do it the right way. We're developing defensive tackles, but also at the same time, like you've got some guys in that locker room that are bought in to this process that Brian Kelly has built, that they're like, you know what, fuck it. If I have to slide inside like a Savion Jones or something, like we can make do with what we have with the coaches that we have brought in. If this was last year's defensive staff and we're going into it with these players, I would be more concerned. But we've got like top of the line position coaches on the defensive side of the football now, especially up in that front seven. They're going to be coached up. Would I love to have a couple more like massive bodies in the interior? Absolutely. But I do think we have enough to be coached up and be competitive. And I think if our front seven is competitive at the least, I think we're going to have a really good football team. And then hopefully, by year's end, we have overcome some of that, depletion, and we have taken that next step. And then we regroup with a solid recruiting class, and we're rocking and rolling, from that point forward with what is probably going to be the top class in the country.
And guess what? College football's changed. Like it's officially changed in the sense of like you don't have to be the best team in the country for 12 weeks. You have to be okay, and you have to peak at the end of the year and start playing your best football in December or whenever the playoffs and shit's going to start. So it's like maybe you can find some guys and develop some guys over the year that will play better on the defensive line. Like I don't know. I just
when you mentioned Ed and like the culture and stuff, and it's just wild how opposite, right? After they got that high of winning a championship, the culture just completely ripped itself apart. But what I do appreciate about the Brian Kelly era, regardless of wins and losses, is you turn on the TV and these guys are not having false starts. These guys are not looking, just undisciplined and unorganized. Like they know if you're playing, aside from special teams, punt returner, but if you're out there,
we'll get there year 3,
and you're playing, especially on this offense, you're on the field because you are disciplined, you know how to follow direction, and you're able to keep up with that. Like the offensive side of the football, what I have seen so far in the past few years is they're very well coached and very disciplined, and it's pretty hard, right, to get on the field with this staff. Defensively, we need to step up, obviously.
We'll get there. We'll get there. I mean, I think Brian Kelly like legitimately looks at this as like a 10-year build and not something that's like we really pissed away an opportunity to get into the dance with Jaden Daniels and a Heisman Trophy winner, blah, blah, blah. Let's not all of a sudden ruin the 2 years of hard work we've put in to try to like chase a championship now. It's like maybe what Lane Kiffin is doing at Ole Miss is the right thing to do, and to kind of like go for broke and hope it works out for you. But like, there's also a chance that it goes really wrong and they miss the playoff, and all these dudes are gone, and all these boosters are like, "Why did we pay $46 million for this? Like, what the fuck happened?"
Lane and Ole Miss can do that. They're allowed to do that. Like, this is not. I don't see Lane riding off to the sunset and retiring at Ole Miss, and like he's going to be there for another 40 years. You know what I mean? Like, so he can ruin his name at Ole Miss if he wanted to, and he's still going to be fine. Where that risk is, it's much riskier for a guy like Brian Kelly to go out and do that, because if he fails, like he destroyed LSU's football program. Where Ole Miss is already Ole Miss. So why don't we go out, capitalize on a sick offensive coordinator like we have with our head coach, and go buy a team and see if we can make it work for a season. If not, we're right back where we were anyway, and we still have Lane Kiffin.
Grant,
he's muted.
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I
but
mean,
I don't
when
know.
Lane Kiffin gets here, I think we'll be, Brian Kelly will have laid down the groundwork.
Yeah.
Is that what you were talking about?
No.
Stoops. We're gonna
The
get Mark
kid.
Stoops' son.
No,
Yeah.
so I think, I think our donors need to step up and start paying these players more money. I'm tired of us losing these transfer portal kids.
We need to partner
five-star.
with like the live teams or something. We need a Saudi backer.
I think it's way more important, or what I look at more is that literally nobody's leaving. Did Sampson even enter the portal?
Mm.
No one's fucking leaving.
No, because Cortez Hankton's a dog. And like, why as a wide receiver would you be like, I'm not playing as a redshirt freshman yet? Like, dude, fucking chill out, or like develop and become a dog. Don't dance around all these multiple schools just who's going to throw you the ball sooner. Like, be in a system that's proven.
That speaks to me a lot more. A guy like Whit Weeks, like, how easy would it be for him to be like, am I still gonna like not be on the field?
They're gonna be behind my brother.
Go get purchased by like Texas for $1 million and go on their roster.
That means a lot more to me than us not ponying up 1 point whatever million bucks for some guy who's like, it's not even like Jadeveon Clowney's in the transfer portal.
That's so much money for a guy.
It's like, this guy that was at Oklahoma State for a fucking year. It's like, let's throw everything.
There was one guy,
dude from Toledo, right? Or where was he?
Yeah, whatever.
There was one guy from A&M, Walter Nolan. That was your
Walter Nolan's a dog.
If you're gonna pay for Walter Nolan, you fucking pony up and you do it. Everybody else, though, no, you don't ruin a locker room and pay all those people money for that.
That's what I was going to ask y'all. How do y'all feel about Will Campbell and Emory Jones and them saying that they are the highest paid NIL
rightfully so.
Team?
Yeah. Those are your bookends, dude.
Like,
I think that's
the best part about this team.
It's like LSU is in our lifetime not had a problem finding wide receivers and stuff.
Yeah.
I would like to be known as the school that like has the best offensive linemen.
Yeah,
that would be
tackles. The best tackles. When we have guards pretty often, we have pretty decent centers. Like, these are two
tackles, and dude, we're stacked behind them too. Even without Lance.
Hey, what's Will Campbell going to be rated in NCAA 25?
Pretty big.
Let's go. Wait, let's write this down. Let's
96.
I don't know how these guys are rating.
We'll have to play that game. Let's prepare for that game next episode, maybe. But we can tease it with those two. What's your ratings for them?
BK off seasons feel like wake me up when the season starts. I want to say that, but like every time we try to say something like that, someone's gonna like get arrested, or like somehow we're gonna be like all over Twitter.
Arrested today, a receiver, I think.
Oh yeah, reckless driving.
Yeah.
No, Will Campbell, 96.
Wait, who did you say, Mike?
No, I said. I mean, the best of them get arrested, dude. Scotty got arrested. It's a big arrest weekend.
Green jacket, gold jacket.
We'll get to
jacket. Yeah, but the two tackles getting paid the most, I think. And what they say it is like 350 or something like that.
I did not see what you were talking about.
Well, this was Moscona talk, but
how much money does Gordon have to just flash around like Lloyd Christmas?
Those two are more paid.
Listen, this is what irks me about Moscona. It's like he'll go.
How much time you have?
Yeah, he'll just like go on these rants about. I know this. I've seen the books. Like, who is showing this guy the financial books?
No,
like who is
not there anymore.
To the books and being like, what accountant is like? I gotta tell fucking Matt Moscona.
Like, also imagine Scona just flipping through the books. Like, when was the last time he looked at a balance sheet?
Yeah,
he fucking tried to get everyone to buy Gamecoin for Christ's sake.
Yeah, they've got their fucking ops meetings, and it's like, by the way, make sure the media knows about this nugget. Like,
what's their EBITDA?
Brian Kelly could be planting those numbers.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of like when he tries to convince you this is a fact, it throws me off. I'm just like, wow, that's a very specific number. Like, either someone's getting fired here because they're leaking like information. I don't know. Like, that's
now the IRS is on those players' accounts.
No, I think the real situation is that's bullshit. He hasn't seen the books. He probably talked to like an intern that knows somebody that's just like, yeah, the tackles are getting paid a lot. Like not $1 million, but like they're getting paid a lot. And he just kind of came up with like a $400K a year type of situation.
Yeah, I just I can't muster the energy to like try to figure out like who's making what in the NIL, like especially now that the game's coming. Like just get me to July when it already took off the first day the game came out, Mike. So if you're looking to put on a vacation day, start the dynasty. For anyone out there, listening that want to join the Pot of Gold inaugural online connected dynasty, hit up Grant, hit up Pot of Gold, hit up at Gold Mike in the
Grant will
DM.
organize everything.
I'm the commissioner.
That's gonna be awesome. So like, what does that mean, Brett, in the gaming world? Like as far as, because when I watched that clip about the features, it was like what is it? You can up to 32 dynasties online can play against each other, but there's no cross play. What does that mean? Like,
no, there is crossplay. Crossplay just means PlayStation can play with Xbox.
Because he said something like that in the video, or it's like, unfortunately, this one's not going to be available.
No, I think so crossplay is from one brand to the other brand. But are you saying like you can, if 32 of us are in a league together, can we play each other? Like, are we the only teams that are playing each other? Or
no, I mean, I think everything else is like computer generated. So like everyone picks the teams, you're recruiting the same like pool.
But can we all play on the same team?
You can play 2 people on the same team. Like,
so like if I'm like, hey, Brett, I'm swamped this week, take us into a few seasons from now.
Yeah, see, I don't know. We're just gonna have to see how it works. Like you can play 2 people on the same team. Unfortunately, it's probably not going to be the unwritten rule of offense, defense out. You're gonna be like a wide receiver trying to like get open. Dude, I was fucking open. We're running the ball.
I think this is gonna be our generation's like poker nights, dude. I think there's gonna be like massive amounts of like mid-30s like young men going out and buying Xboxes and just like having game nights. It's like, babe, got a dynasty tonight. Put the kids to bed.
Get a couple drinks in us.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in.
Who are we rebuilding first? What is that?
Yeah. What team are you choosing to rebuild?
God, I mean, I'm gonna have to look.
I'm taking UL Monroe and General Booty to Heisman Town.
That's a good call. Aware. I think it's going to turn for me. It's going to be like scrolling Netflix for 2 hours. I'm going to be looking at every team, just like maybe. You
gotta play it out. I've always loved Oregon. Like Oregon was one of those teams that I always like wanted to get.
But you can't do that now. You can't walk in and be Dan Lanning.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of old what. And I mean, you can change the playbook, but like what I would do is find the sickest playbook and then just be like, okay, well, we'll do this at Toledo or something like that. And
I might do like I always used to like doing like Duke, like a basketball team that's like, they're not supposed to be good at football.
Like I used to do UNC a lot because it was like, not a good football school, got the Carolina blue. Now they're kind of good at football. So it would be, but I used to do UNC a lot.
I might build like Rutgers. Like I'd make the Scarlet Knights,
but just fully change your persona to like Shiano, like play the dirt.
Yeah, it's a massive defensive guy, and then like go to Notre Dame,
blocking everyone.
Would that be restricted to non-Power 5? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would do like Bowling Green or something.
If it's non-Power 5,
South Florida.
Yeah, UCF's been done.
Yeah, I'm over them.
I'm trying to think.
Like SMU could be kind of cool.
SMU, yeah, like a big Dallas team just dominating Texas.
You gotta find one of those that has like a sick player, and then just be like, I'm just gonna try to like win this dude a Heisman, and then I'll recruit my nuts off, and then go somewhere else.
Kansas State has like a little guy.
What you have to do is you have to find the quarterback that had the most rushing yards last year that wasn't on a Power 5 team.
You know
And
what used to be fun? What used to be fun before?
you're gonna say triple option teams, aren't
Yeah,
you?
of course.
Read option triple.
But like TCU would be cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was back when we used to play this game. TCU was that like outsider
Dark
looking
horse, like
in. Yeah,
black helmets,
dude.
the reddest hair on a quarterback in video game history.
black pants, purple jerseys. Like it was just
UTSA, Denver
Boston.
Harris land.
Boston College.
BC's cool.
Their
I like
quarterback
BC.
had 1,000 yards last year,
You
and
also
so did Liberty's quarterback.
You also got to think, like, at least from the trailer, it feels like the pageantry is going to be like pretty sick.
Gotta
So
have
to
the
have
pageantry.
so to have Boston College and have that like red bandana game would be kind of sick. I don't know if that's gonna be in
UCLA,
it.
fearless
No,
leader, in there. UCLA was a fun
What
dynasty to
well,
create
what
out
you
there
do
too.
is you get your 3 or 4 years and you overturn those programs, then you take,
For
then
sure.
then
The ultimate as an LSU fan is like you do all this and then eventually you retire at LSU.
Dogs.
But the thing that sucks about that is like then you don't get to play with like the Grant
know.
Nussmeyers and
Well,
all
that's what you
that
have to do
'cause you're in like
multiple
year
you
6.
you do multiple ones, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just excited. Like it's gonna be fun. I think there's gonna be a lot of podcasts that instead of podcasting, it's gonna be the boys
Watch
playing NCAA for
I
3
just
hours.
hope I'm not a lame duck and I'm just like, I'm kind of over this. Like all excited about it, then I start playing it in like a weekend. I'm just like, I don't have time for I can't do this.
I think you're
That's gonna
thinking
be
night time.
that's gonna be a tough reality.
Yeah, you're just late nights, early mornings.
No, I think once the season is like knocking on the door, like dude, I've had a tickle in my ass to go do that, where I go buy an old Xbox and like just try to find the game on eBay just for like a week. I'm just like, I gotta fucking do it, man. I gotta create this one season. Like Alfred Blue needs to score.
I
Up
must set
until, like,
every record.
Up until like 2 years ago, I had every new roster in the PS3.
Oh, I remember that.
I have it. I have it right
How
here.
cool would it be to play like with old characters? You know, it's like, hey, you can be Joe Burrow.
Well, that's gonna happen, but it's gonna
It's-
be in this ultimate team where you're gonna have to like buy packs, and
yeah,
it's just
you
like
can buy Jaden
Well,
Daniels.
so
Yeah.
let me get this straight too. If you had a 32 team dynasty, would each person that's in that league start like you would like? Let's say you chose LSU, you would start with this year's LSU roster and then just start
Yeah.
recruiting.
Yeah,
yeah,
dude.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
then you
I-
got team builder mode again, so you can like make. I remember back in high school, I was
Monsters
like
University.
making our high school and
Yeah.
stuff. Grant, I remember doing that when I was living
Like
down there for Katrina. I was building like the Patterson Lumberjacks.
See, that's the type of shit that it's like that's pretty cool. I don't have like 9 hours to make Skipper Drive and Mandeville High fucking. Also,
we
I don't
did.
care
But
to
we
do
did.
that. Oh no, we did. I'm saying
the
now.
color, you spent time
Now.
designing the jerseys, the uniform combinations, the
Oh,
colors.
this took forever.
Finding the exact high school and road to glory.
And then the minute you trot out there, someone's got the wrong face mask. You're like, I got to start over. Like
Jesus
this
Christ.
lineman looks like a
Did-
freaking idiot,
Did
dude.
my fucking arm sleeves not
Neck
save?
roll.
Yeah, like our left
Neck
tackle
roll.
has like the Revo speed. It's like, get him out of here. Get this fucking clown out of here.
Now
Paul,
you're gonna have to pay like $3 for that Revo speed.
are you really though? Like, is that what we're walking into here?
I think
Is that
there's
how
gonna be
mad-
like
Are we going to be nickel and dimed for 4 quarters?
it's
that-
not exactly yeah.
If
And
you
then,
don't want to
like,
watch these ads, dude, if I get like a BB Go or what the fuck is that? Oh god, the golf channel.
Bilbio, I don't remember now.
BB Go. BB Go, 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 go. Dude, that is in my head now. If I get a BB Go commercial in the middle of fucking NCAA football 25 or college football 25, I'm gonna
After-
launch my brand new Xbox S.
After paying $100 for a game and $300 for a console, $100
Yeah,
for the
I don't want
headset.
microwavable wontons ever.
I know there's one thing I think that'll set this game apart is the fact that there will actually be a playoff. Like think about like all the old versions, like we made them fun. They were fun, whatever. But it was always like there wasn't even a 14 playoff at that time. It was only the BCS championship. So like there was no excitement. Like you went undefeated. It's like, well, I'm gonna probably play and then sometimes in your dynasty, you didn't even make the national championship because you were undefeated with Toledo. You know, whereas
No,
now
12-team playoff.
Odd man
that's what
looking
I'm
out.
saying. So this will
Yeah.
be the first one where you're 12-0 Toledo or even 11-1 whoever could potentially make that playoff, and that would be really fun, really good content.
Make Tulane just like sick. Like New Orleans has like the best college football team.
Tulane jerseys are sick. You could probably build up their stadium and shit.
I could do without the fucking clown wave cartoon on the helmet.
Yeah, they just have a great color palette. Like you can make some.
Yeah, the green and baby blue.
I'm not a big Tulane guy either, but I was trying to just vibe it with the boys.
No, I'm not either.
I think there's going to be a mode where it's like just the playoff. So it's like, if we get enough people in, just spend an evening having a little battle to the death. I would love that if it got so intense that we had, like, instead of fantasy football, we were just paying like $100 entry fees into fucking dynasties and stuff.
If you do Road to Glory, what position will you go with?
I mean,
quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the first one you're gonna do. I always like doing something that's a little harder.
Like maybe like
done
left guard, maybe guard.
I've always done quarterback, running back, or like defensive end.
Wide receivers.
I've done tight end before.
What I hope is that, like,
and linebacker,
the play calling and all the Road to Glory and shit is not like the most basic shit ever. Like, I don't know. I'm ready to see the playbooks, I guess, is where we're getting to.
That's true.
Do you think they
have a whole
consulted
generation.
people like Joe Brady? It's like, hey man, can you just, like, I don't know, draw up like 100 random plays?
Dude, no, they just asked Madden.
Does Madden?
Of course so.
Like, I'm sure. Brett, do you play Madden, or
I haven't played Madden in so long.
I never thought about the playbooks. Like, we're 10 years removed from. I mean, like, these college playbooks now are.
Yeah, it's like Shanahan.
But that's the thing. Like the playbooks in Madden, I'm sure there's variations for the people who play Madden, but it's like all really similar. It's like you got your shotgun set, and like college is so different, and there's like way different types of offenses. Also, it's like the spread and the read option. The read option was like just becoming popular in the last game.
You had to know how to do it.
Oh, I love the dude. I can't wait for that shit. Like, to go back to like triple option read options and stuff. Hopefully
But then you can
like linemen.
But if the cornerback's playing off, you just audible to a hitch real quick, and you know if they're playing you.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna throw flags on like linemen downfield, like like with the RPO, like those linemen like moving up, blocking a linebacker, just whipping it to Y.
You know how pissed you're gonna be when your fucking computer generated O lineman is 8 yards down the field when you just threw a touchdown. Oh baby,
get him out!
Get him out! Get him out! Get him out!
That'd be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I am waiting on. So, what did you read something about like a discount day, or like there's a new model going to be flirted?
So in like 3 weeks, they call it Showcase. So it used to be E3 was like the electronics convention, and like pretty much everyone debuted all their shit then. And ever since COVID, they like stopped doing the big convention, and now it's just like the Xbox show, and they have like a 2-hour like conference pretty much where they like show off all the new games and shit. And I have seen some rumors of like an upgraded console. I don't know if it's true, because normally the leaks are like hardcore whenever there's a new console coming out. But I mean, if they do announce one, you could probably get one of the other ones for $50, $100 cheaper than you can today.
It says like October.
What is this question?
Yeah, we'll go toss dive, Les Miles Memorial.
Okay. I didn't know what it meant.
Either that or
what is your first play going to be?
Actually, yeah, I think we had an ode to Mike Leach and just run 4 verts. That's what I'll do.
I'm just going to do a QB keeper. Just see what we can do. Just like
with
see
us.
Just see if that is enhanced for the quarterback, or if it's still just like unless they're a speedy run like quarterback, or is all quarterbacks like they can wiggle, dude. It's part of the game plan.
Maybe just like immediately get out of the pocket and throw it away. Be like, guys, we're on track today. Like we're really dialed in.
Loosen up.
Hey, it wasn't there. We're not going to force anything.
Okay, that's that button. That's that button.
Yeah, right bumper 6.
Didn't mean to spin there.
Yeah, you're gonna run like the Army quadruple reverse, and it's gonna go negative 12 yards. And you're like, never again, never running that play again.
Yeah, I just want to like do some slow-mo replays, take some screenshots, make some screensavers, stuff like that again. So I'm looking forward to. I just have like a Whit Weeks picking up a fumble.
It's all going to be streamed and clipped. There's no need, Mike.
I don't know how that works.
The real regular season next year.
Won the fucking title 2 years in a row, dude. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm gonna have like
are y'all gonna recap the real game against them, or y'all just
dude? Nussmeier is sick,
dude. Yeah, that would be really funny if like we got shithoused by Alabama and we just like played the game on NCAA and like broke it down.
I'm curious to see like because they're making this game now, like on the heels of Alabama's dynasty just completely dying, and so I'm wondering like there really hasn't like Milroe was in like the trailer and stuff, but like, man, isn't it nice that we kind of got to skip the whole like Saban slob fest?
Yes. I mean, yes. At some point, I don't know. Like, I wonder if Ask Corso is going to be in the game or if it's going to be like Nicky
Saban's going to find his way into this game.
Yeah, there'll be like a Saban. There'll be like a video game created trophy or something. It's like
do you want to play on easy, hard, or Saban?
Saban. Saban Muschamp 03. Like, what are we like? What level?
It's like a Saban slider. It's not just Saban. It's just Saban slider.
Yeah, like what version are we talking about?
Is this the one that lost to UL Monroe? Or
no, this is like chew your ass out, Miami Dolphins Saban.
Yeah.
We're going through some fucking issues, dude. We're processing some life choices here.
Xander Schauffele is your PGA champion.
Crazy.
Good for Xander. Good for the PGA.
Disgraceful tournament, like an absolute disgrace. But yeah, good for Xander.
And you're right, dude. The takeaway of the weekend, aside from the Scotty Scheffler saga, which I mean just completely derailed him, and just wild, bizarre, and like the fact that like it's already kind of put to rest, like it's gonna keep popping up all the time for like the rest of our life. I think the rest of our life we're gonna be talking about Scotty Scheffler getting arrested before the PGA tournament. It's like you said though, if he would have won, that would have been like holy shit.
All totally different story. It's truly a shame that all of this went down on ESPN Plus because Marty Smith put in a fucking Emmy award-winning performance.
Wonderful job.
Fucking hiding in the bushes, waiting for Scotty to get here. They go to Scotty on the range, and he is obviously like in picture 6 feet behind Scotty, and he's just like whispering, like he's got to be fucking nervous right about now. It was one of the funniest things ever.
For golfers, it was like watching like the OJ trial.
No, exactly. It's White Bronco City.
It was like we're glued to this TV. Like, don't talk to me. I finally had the Verizon fucking fiber guy come start to connect everything, and he's just like yapping it up, dude. He's like, "When's the pizza coming?" Like, wanted me to like buy him lunch and stuff. I'm just like, guy, like I got like this hotspot really has to maintain for the next like half hour. So just hold tight. I mean, like, get back in the yard.
The crazy thing is like Brett rings out this text at was 6:30, I guess.
It was early.
I mean, it was breaking news, and my child had just woken up. Usually she doesn't wake up that early, so I happened to look at it, and I'm like, no way. And so I start like reading up, and my wife's laying there in bed. She's like, "What are you doing, texting so fast, like, why are you on Twitter at 6:30?" Yeah, like what? And I'm like, "Babe, you know the guy that we were just talking about? He had the baby, like the whole the Masters guy. Like he's in jail." She's like, "Go to bed."
So I woke up to the Jeff Darlington tweet in a different group, and it immediately got me because I was like, look at this idiot who got by the internet. Like, I'm going to prove this clown wrong before 6:30. And I go to Twitter, and it's just an absolute fucking free-for-all. So, like, I immediately holler at the boys. I don't have power. I lost power in the storm the night before.
Brutal.
So I just texted my boss. I'm like, dude, the Twitter is buzzing right now. Like, this is too much. I'm not working this morning. And so I literally just like sat in my bed for 3 hours with like on my phone with the ESPN Plus coverage and like the mini floating box and just refreshing Twitter. My phone was as hot as it's ever been. My hand was cramping. Like, I felt like the biggest degenerate. And it was the funniest, like one of the top 10 times I've ever had. Like, it was just
all-time Twitter meme day.
Marty Smith following Scotty to the 10th tee, and he's like, "This is awesome, guys.
This is crazy.
So fucking. This is crazy."
And he never broke character. He never smiled. He was stoic. He was serious. He did a great job. And I was frustrated at first because I couldn't get into ESPN Plus. It was too much juice. Like, Hotspot was not going to be able to handle
Please
Twitter.
put in this code for the 19th fucking time.
Yeah, and it was like cycling. I'm like, I guess I'm just stuck to Get Up or to ESPN regular, and they were talking LeBron, dude, and I almost got it. I was like, this is like, there is no way I'm missing this shit to hear about how bad LeBron James is right now. Like, I can't do this.
But then they would cut away every now and then, apparently, because I was on the ESPN Plus feed, and they're like, "All right, Sports Center, y'all are leaving.
Gotta talk basketball." It's like, guys, it's 6 in the morning. Like, give us the breaking news, dude.
Did y'all hear about Harrison Butker?
Yeah. So they were like so pissed about it too. They're like, we know. I forgot who it was. They're like, we're talking about the Knicks. We know everybody's tuning in for the Scotty Shuffle news. Once we have more information, we'll get back to it. But man, last night getting a triple double, it's like, guys, don't want to hear this right now. But ESPN Plus had it rolling. Finally, I got the juice up and we were locked in. And it was like, holy shit! He arrived to the course, and he told Marty he loved him.
Well, that part, I was like, okay. There's no way he went to jail. Like, that was confirmed. He was in prison.
Yeah, and the fact that they put him in that jumpsuit for no reason.
Hilarious.
Photo shoot. But the fact that, like, I was thinking there's no way he's going to come back and play and qualify for the rest of this tournament. Like, there was absolutely no way. And, like, obviously, Brett, you were pretty adamant, like, he's coming back. He's coming back and playing. I just didn't think his pride would allow him. Like, he proved me wrong. Like, I view him as a whole different person.
If he was going to get released and make that tee time, he was going to play. I didn't think he was going to make that tee time.
What else are you going to do? I'm assuming he probably couldn't just PJ it back to fucking Texas and be with his family. So
I just thought he would have sat there crying on the phone with his wife, like, "Babe, I'm sorry." But he proved me wrong, dude.
Nothing made me happier than watching him check his fucking iPhone 3 minutes before his tee time, just being like, "Hey, good morning, babe. I'm going to work. I'll text you when I get done."
You're going to see some stuff. Like, I'll explain later.
We'll explain later. Going to work.
And then have to sit there for 5 hours just hacking away and make a 66, shoot a 60. Like, dude, like, that is it. He is phenomenal. He's incredible. And like, it caught up to him, right? Like,
he still finished 8th. Like, that's what's crazy.
He top 10.
If that doesn't tell you that he is the best golfer on the planet at this point, I don't know what will.
He's just so locked in.
I didn't realize until yesterday, though. Like, I was doing a lot of stuff this weekend with family, my other family. Sorry, guys. So I didn't get to follow closely Friday night and Saturday, but
I know
apparently he didn't have his caddy on Saturday. I didn't realize that.
No, he decided to go to his daughter's graduation.
Because I feel like even with this caddy, like, if he would probably shot a 67 or something, and he would have shot?
What would he would
have been 18?
If he wasn't in jail before that round.
I don't know. I really don't. But Scotty's gonna win at Pinehurst. Like, just
put it in now.
Get to FanDuel, get to DraftKings. Like, not financial advice. It's over. Like, an absolute disgrace by the PGA. Like, we're not going to sit here and harp on it, but like, what an absolute fucking clown show of like TrackMan golf, like an average PGA Tour event. It's like, hey, we need you to hit the ball 174 yards. It's not going to spin. You can stop it on a dime.
You can have your rangefinders.
There's no hills. Like, have at it, boys. Like, what a fucking joke.
Yeah. I thought you were just doing, you know, like I'm gonna
Shtick.
Debbie down like everything type of thing, and I'm just like, damn, Brett's already out on this, and like I haven't even watched a single fucking hole yet.
I mean,
And
dude,
then like
fucking Xander's like 9 under before the fucking anyone on the
I know,
planet's awake. So it's
right?
like,
And then I
what are we
tuned in.
doing?
I'm just like, this is okay. And then all of a sudden, it's like, God, dude, like this is just like birdies don't matter. It's just everyone. If you miss this birdie, it's like, well, you're out.
These dudes are
Colin.
these guys are so fucking good at golf that you have to have hard greens, like firm greens with a lot of hills and undulation, or you just need like a shit ton of wind. Like all this, like, oh, we got rough. Like that doesn't fucking matter to these guys. Like they're too good. The technology's too good to where they don't have to be perfect in the middle of the fairway. They're just going to mash it 360 yards down there.
I
Like
saw
it's
like
just,
3 people miss a fairway.
yeah, it's just like, you know, if we went played Valhalla, it'd probably be one of the sickest courses we've ever played. Like it's not that, but it's like these guys are just too either like the equipment is too good, or these guys are too good for like every course in America outside of like 12. And that's it. Everything else is just TrackMan golf of like, oh well, let's see if you can hit the ball exactly the distance that you do on the range.
How about Bryson's four left? Epic. It's just an epic. I mean, just all of his energy. Just he was so in that moment. The minute it got off, the minute he hit it for left, like he was like, I blew it, I fucked it, and then it just bounced perfect.
There's
Perfect.
Bryson, I would say, has probably been the biggest topic of conversation in the group. And I told y'all, like,
Did
I'm
you buy the hat?
tired. I had the Apple Pay like open and I couldn't pull the trigger. Like I just not
You're gonna
yet.
hop on this pod one day with a Crusher's hat on.
Yeah.
And it's gonna pop, dude.
I'm
It's gonna
not
slap.
I'm not ashamed at how much I love Bryson. 3 days ago, I was ashamed and I was hiding in the closet of like the Bryson DeChambeau.
I've always been in the closet for Bryson.
You know, you were, but when Bryson was
But I
like the
backed
Patrick
off.
You
Reed
came
of
out of the
golf,
closet last
you
week.
were
No, but I
pro.
put the sign away. I put the sign
Yes.
away.
But like I fucking love Bryson so much. Like for him to look at the CBS like 18K camera and give a let's go after a chip in like it's a fucking YouTube video was outside of the entire Scheffler getting arrested was like the funniest thing I had seen in a long time on a golf course.
Nothing
And
would
it's
have
just
made
like
me
I'm so
happier.
in on this guy now. And he's outside, throw Scotty Scheffler in a barn in the shed. Bryson's the best major championship golfer we're going over the last year or two. So,
Dude, you like just would have made this so special to me would have been seeing Xander 2-putt
3 putts,
and
yeah.
3-putt and seeing Bryson on the driving range collapse to his knees and celebrate on the range.
With like 4 cameras like going
The only
up to
reason
his
he does
face.
it because he knows the camera's there. If the cameras weren't there, he'd hightail it up to the green. But like cameras on the range, dropping.
This will be such a good Instagram reel. Hold on.
Just in the middle of the driving range.
Dude, I swear, like I wanted Xander because I had like watching him lose like that would have been tough. So I kind of did want him to like make that putt as much as like a 3-hole playoff would have gotten me super amped. As soon as he hit that ball, my first thought was like, this is power lipping and he's gonna have 5 feet to like even get into a playoff. I still don't know how that ball went in.
Bro, that approach shot though,
smashed
off of that the edge, like the shoulder of that bunker with 1 foot in the ground to get it to
Choked
where he
up.
got it.
It's a
That
great
was
shot.
such a clean shot. That's a pro shot. That's somebody that's like didn't like that was the shot that I thought he was going to fuck up. Not
He also said that he was like legitimately concerned that he was going to shank it, which is like,
that's what I'm
imagine
saying, dude.
fucking
Imagine just shanking that approach. That's like it's over. Bryson would have been like Bryson would have started hitting driver just for the fuck of it.
Speaking
I
of
thought as soon as
shanks,
it went in, Bryson was going to smash one at the screen with his driver.
speaking of shanks, speaking of the
Get out of my
Xander
face.
shot, let us be the 8th millionth podcast to like get down on our knees and praise Johnson Wagner because like absolute like talk about like the content god that is Bryson DeChambeau. Johnson Wagner just continues to go on the Golf Channel post game show and just provide epic content. Shanked like I legitimately think he shanked 4 balls on live television, and then he like hit a hybrid from Xander Spies. Like hit that really good. It just dives into like the fucking ravine. It's just so good. And he brings like quality like thoughts and stuff to it, and then to just step up and just hosel rocket it is just so funny.
You know, the most disappointing thing from this tournament for me was one, getting my hopes up for Morikawa. Like, what a choke artist. Hold on, is this your boy?
Is this a video or is this just a picture? Yes.
And there's the chipping yips. I'm gonna get. At least you warned us. Let's not take divots.
For those that don't watch the YouTube video, we're watching Johnson Wagner just shank chips and
This was on Thursday.
Well,
And then he just
Well,
earned it. And the
Well,
one he did on,
I have the chipping yips.
the one he did on Saturday. Did you watch the one
out
from
of the rough
Saturday,
where
Grant?
he hustled.
Yeah.
It was 20 times worse. It's so funny.
No,
Like-
but Morikawa not finishing a Sunday when he's in the he's in the final group.
That
Why is he attempting that? Why is he attempting?
because he understands that like no matter what happens, like it's gonna be quality.
It's like a Sahith Thagala shot, dude.
Yeah, the first one he did was like a legitimate like difficult shot, and then he was like, "Here's a really easy lie that Sahith got," and then he just hoselled the fuck out of it.
And then the other guy I'm extremely disappointed in is Cam Smith. What the fuck happened to you? Like
Can't
you would
trust
think this course and like this setup would have been like a Cam Smith runaway like a year and a half ago. But he goes to live, he's fishing, he's getting fat. He even said it. He's like, I'm getting fat. Me and Leishman, we had to like start losing some weight because we're just, eating good and drinking good. And like he just stopped doing what he does great, which is great short game and just elite putting. It's just not there.
Yeah, no, I mean, I honestly thought Morikawa was going to win it on Sunday. Like before everything happened, I told y'all, I said I like Bryson or Morikawa.
Bryson or Morikawa was the two that I had. I thought Hovland was a dark horse.
I just didn't, like I told you, it's like, man, I like Hovland, but it's like it worried me that the dude his game has been long lost. And
He's
then to all of a
regressed.
sudden find it, and then to have Sunday final round jitter. Like I respect the shit out of him because he had those obviously like Sunday major jitters and like still went out and got it. Whereas Morikawa, who like couldn't be set up better for him. Like the course isn't the longest course on the planet. It's literally TrackMan golf of like, hey man, just be an iron player and attack pins. And I think 3 feet was the longest putt he made all day. Like yesterday changed my opinion of Morikawa more than it did of Xander.
Yeah, because Xander should have had one of these a while back. Like Xander has consistently.
If we're playing Waste Management Open, who can get to 25 under first? Like, yeah, fuck, I'd pick Xander pretty high up on my list after Scotty, and that's about it. So
yeah,
it's
but
like
if you have to scramble and compete and be in that moment when like nuts are on the line, like that's not Xander. He's notorious for choking, but I think he's just, when you get in these types of environments, like you said, where it's just, massive scoring situations where everyone's in the red, this is Xander's wheelhouse.
And there was no trouble. Like I don't know what hole it was. It was like the second or third hole, and Xander like hit a terrible tee shot, and he literally like hit a bad second shot, and then it was like, okay, let's just routine up and down. Like here's a par, and it's like you should have at minimum made bogey from there, like on any like real major championship course. Like I don't know. It just made every birdie feel like so. There's just no trouble. There's nothing to stop these guys. It was an absolute free for all, which is like, I don't know. That's what I expect to tune into, like on any given Sunday, not one of the best tournaments, biggest tournaments on the planet.
But that's, and I haven't been watching golf, for more than 5 years now, 4 years at most. ever since I've watched, the PGA Championship has kind of been a clown show. Like it's not like out of the majors, it's just been the one where I'm just like, I don't put as much stock into this for a
Yeah,
winner as I
I
do
kind of
the
agree.
others.
I mean, I think the ones that Brooks won were actually at hard courses, and that's why Brooks won. Like, I don't really
Yeah, I
like
guess it
Brooks.
depends on the course, but like I feel like the players, in my opinion, like the winner of the players typically is like this is like your guy this season.
JT. Oh, the players.
JT,
Yeah,
no, but I'm saying like JT won the players. He had a good year that
yeah.
year. Scotty's won it a couple times, gone on those same years to win the Masters. Cam Smith won it, went on to win the Open. I just feel like the dudes that win the players, it sticks out a little bit more to me than the PGA champion. I mean, like, fuck, dude, Phil won a couple years ago.
The players every year is the course makes you be able to, like, you have to draw the ball, you have to fade the ball, you have to be able to bring it in high, you have to be able to bring it in low. Like, it makes you it finds the most, like, complete golfer, I would say. And,
Yeah.
like, that you see the guys like Scotty and, Tiger over the years. Justin Thomas is kind of one of those dudes who can work it around when he's hot. Yeah, I don't know. I just wanna watch number 2 be, like, diabolical. Like,
I
I
can't.
want
I haven't been this excited for a major outside of the Masters for a long time. Like this USO. I think it's because we took the trip, right? Like we
Yeah, for sure. We've been on the grounds.
it's a wonderful like environment. It's great. And the fact that Scotty's like playing lights out right now and this course really sets up for him and like shot shaping and like really creative. You have to be like really creative in your short game on Pinehurst.
Yeah, you have to be in the right spots. Like, if you're on the wrong side of the green, I mean, fuck, we didn't play in number 2, the toughest course, and it's like, if you were in the wrong spot in the greens, like, you were rolling off, and, like, and
Mhm.
then you have to chip back to this, like, play these hills. Pinehurst is not a spot like, there's not gonna be rough out there. There's gonna be those, like, I wouldn't call them, like, sand dunes, but they're
Waste
gonna have yeah,
areas.
they're gonna have waste area, but, like, unless you just get a really shitty lie, like, hitting from there for these pros isn't like some, "Oh my god, like, I'm in 4 feet of rough here." And it's like, it's really, like, missing and hitting in the right spots and then being able to just scramble your dick off. Because if it's anything like
Mm.
the courses we played, their greens aren't huge. So it's like you're gonna be
Yeah.
chipping a lot. I
And I
don't
think like
think
as a Scotty Scheffler fan, like this is the next major that I want to see him win. It's like if he won the PGA championship, it's like that's awesome. He won another major, but like winning the US Open specifically at Pinehurst, I think that just fits like a really cool run for Scotty.
yeah. No, I mean, feels like Scotty should have more does he has 2? That's it?
Two.
His
Needs
Masters.
more.
2 Masters, 2 players, and then 2 Waste Managements and 2 Arnold Palmers.
WCG and,
He
the
just
match
like wins
play.
everything he wins, he wins it twice.
Um,
What did you mean by scramble their dicks?
if you don't know by now, buddy, you can't afford it. What else we got? I could keep talking PGA if we want. But I mean Bryson's a
I'm
big
playing
winner.
around.
Of anyone who I thought that would go to live and everyone would just like bag on him and hate him even more, like somehow Bryson is like one of the most
Bryson is
likable guys out there. He reminds me of Ricky Fowler, like
yeah,
when Ricky Fowler was popular and every kid had their orange flat bill hat. Like that's how I kind of see Bryson now. Is
he's
the
a
guy
spectacle. He
everyone's
makes a scene.
oh, we watch
And
him on YouTube.
yeah, exactly. But like the fact that Bryson now is competing at a very high level, not on the PGA tour, right? And like he's going into these majors and competing. I think it brings some validity to like his style of golf and like who he is on that tour on Live. But like I could totally see him being the commissioner of Live Golf. Like that's who they're going to strap their money to. Is like, hey, we're going to let Bryson ride this thing into the clouds because we certainly can't do it with Brooks. Like Brooks is going to show up in a Nike shirt and not like wear his T-ball uniform.
Legitimately, I think my favorite thing is that Rom, Sergio, Phil, Gooch, like pick your guy, come out to all these majors looking like absolute buffoons in their team gear, And Bryson just rolls in like he's one of the boys in his Nikes, and it's so funny. Like, it's just so what is Rom thinking when he's in the locker room? Like, I can't believe I fucking signed the paperwork that I have to wear this, and like Brooks just looks cool.
Yeah, I think Rom's got some personal stuff going on where he's just like, man, I had to hand that jacket back to Scotty Scheffler. Like, I suck right now. I'm gonna have to just like, go with the flow and wear the stupid Dragon Ball Z,
So
uniform. Paul Skeens. Yeah. So with that being said, I think Pinehurst sets up for Rom too.
Dude, if Rom is like actually playing decent, like he's one of those guys that can do a lot. Like most courses, how we talk about Scotty, it's like most courses should set up for Rom when he's playing well because he's like that good of a golfer.
McIlroy on a little bit of a run here, playing good golf. It's wild that like every week I watch golf religiously every week, and I look at the rankings and I'm just like I like in the odds for every tournament coming up, it's like McIlroy's always like right behind Scheffler, and I just don't get it. Like I know he's won a couple weeks, but like Zurich and what
Quail Hollow,
yeah, which he's won there 4 times.
Take a wild guess where the PGA is next year.
They call it the Queen City. I didn't know that.
But I mean, dude, it's just typical. This is the type of fucking major that Rory could have went and got. Like, hey, man, there's not a ton of trouble out there. Be the best driver on the planet and like just flag stick hunt. And like, you don't have to worry about like anything else. And he just, I don't know if it was Friday. No, it was probably Saturday where he just like ejected from the tournament.
Grant, while you're researching, where is the Open Championship this year?
The Open Championship is, oh my God, it's on the tip of my tongue.
It's in, I have it pulled up. I have their Wikipedia pulled up. It's Royal Troon.
Troon, yeah. Troon is
that a McIlroy course?
In Scotland.
That's a McIlroy course.
I think, I could be wrong. I'm almost positive Troon is the place that
Lowry
was like super tough.
And
it was Phil Mickelson and Henrik Stenson were like 15 strokes ahead of everyone.
2016 Henrik Stenson.
That was I bet you could find that on YouTube.
Was that one was like pouring down raining?
No, I don't think so. It's been a while since I watched, but like literally like they just dropped everyone from coverage because it was literally like match play out there. Everyone else was like 10 shots back, and it was really sick. Like they both kept hitting insane shots.
I could see McIlroy making a little run at the Open Championship this year. I'm sure he'll be hyped up.
Yeah, Spieth. That's a Spieth type.
Fearless Leader throws in the comments for Paul Skeens. Dude's dominant.
I mean, he's just
dominant.
Nasty. What do you want? What do you want?
Him back.
Yeah, can we put a mustache or take his mustache off and start him tomorrow morning?
All right, I think I'm tapping.
Yeah, it's late on the East Coast. Jersey Mike.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, well, thanks everyone for joining. We had a shit ton of people on Twitter watching.
We'll be back. We'll be back.
We'll be doing this thing, y'all.
NCAA 25. DM Grant or DM at Pot of Gold if you're itching to get in that dynasty. I just want Grant to just be inundated with
flooded with people wanting.
Send them picks. Like
32 only 32 players.
Need a pick of your controller, your monitor setup that you're planning on playing on.
Rumble packs.
I need to see
memory cards.
I need to see your internet bill to make sure you're getting the right gigabyte speeds.
That is true. We do. We will not have any.
I have 1 gig. I have a full gig.
You're good. You have fiber. The fact that you have fiber, you're good.
To be perfect,
you don't have fiber. Yeah, it's gonna be tough to get you in this league. I'm just gonna say that.
This is the best. This is the best your internet's ever performed during a pod, Michael. Just so
really?
You know. Oh
nice.
Yes.
It's been
Couldn't
great.
have been better.
Yeah, dude, it's good.
At Pot of Gold, at Gold Mike, at G, whatever. Find Grant. You can find Grant.
Hanging around.
Yeah, we'll be back, guys. Thanks for